The Raiders' offense, once stagnant and frustrating to watch, is finally starting to show signs of rhythm. Head coach Chip Kelly has made adjustments, steering away from the deep ball obsession that exposed the weaknesses of the offensive line. Instead, the focus has shifted to quick, north-south duo runs, simple, efficient, and effective. Ashton Jy has begun to find his footing in this system, showing flashes of what the Raiders envisioned when they brought him in. Still, the challenge ahead is enormous. Kansas City sits at 3-3, a record that might not look intimidating, but insiders like Chris Collinsworth warn that this Chiefs team feels more dangerous than the undefeated version from last season. With key players like Rashi Rice returning from injury, their offense looks ready to explode again. And the Raiders are catching them at exactly the wrong time. For the Raiders, injuries are again a concern. Rookie left tackle Josh Simmons, a breakout talent, might miss the game due to undisclosed personal reasons. The mystery surrounding his absence adds another layer of uncertainty. Yet even without Simmons, the Raiders can't relax. Jalen Moore filled in admirably against Aiden Hutchinson, proving that the Chiefs won't be an easy target on the edge. Meanwhile, Brock Bowers remains sidelined, with coach Pete Carroll opting to let him rest until after the bye week. The offense must adapt, relying more heavily on their run game and tight end depth, especially with Michael Mayer and Ian Thomas stepping up in Bowers' absence. Ginty, the young running back, has been a bright spot in recent weeks. His vision has sharpened. He's learning how to read defenses, manipulate linebackers, and hit those perfect cutback lanes. That untouched touchdown run last week wasn't luck. It was understanding the scheme and executing it flawlessly. Carroll wants him heavily involved, aiming for 20 carries a game. But against the Chiefs, he'll need to be more than just a runner. His involvement in the passing game could be the key to keeping the defense honest. Kansas City's linebacker Nick Bolton is solid but slower in coverage, and exploiting that mismatch could open up the offense. Defensively, there's been progress. The Raiders have finally moved away from the predictable cover 3 shell that left them exposed time and again. Patrick Graham's willingness to mix in more cover 2 and disguise looks has given the defense a spark. They're showing versatility, rotating coverages, confusing quarterbacks, and forcing short throws instead of deep shots. The tackling, however, remains a glaring issue. Against a team like the Chiefs, missing open field tackles could turn a short gain into a 70-yard nightmare. As Carroll said, "We can't miss in space." The Raiders must play disciplined, smart football, or Patrick Mahomes will make them pay dearly. When the Raiders have the ball, the key will be patience. Steve Spagnuolo's defense thrives on confusion and pressure. He loves to disguise coverage, rotate safeties, and occasionally send blitzes that catch quarterbacks off guard. Geno, the Raiders' quarterback, must resist the temptation to force deep passes and instead take what the defense gives him. The Chiefs' scheme is designed to bait mistakes, and one bad throw could shift momentum instantly. Fortunately, Kansas City has reduced its man coverage usage from 30% early in the season to more zone-heavy looks, giving Geno more space underneath to find open targets. This plays perfectly into the Raiders' short-game rhythm, with Michael Mayer and Ginty serving as reliable outlets. But all of this preparation and tactical adjustment is overshadowed by one looming issue: Jakobi Meyers. What started as quiet whispers has erupted into a full-blown controversy. A few weeks ago, Meyers was the definition of consistency, healthy, productive, and respected. Then suddenly, trade rumors hit the airwaves. Within hours, he appeared on the injury report for the first time all season. The timing was suspicious, to say the least. Chip Kelly claimed the team expected him to practice that day, but Meyers never showed. That's when speculation intensified. Was he actually injured, or was he making a statement? Sources close to the team suggest Meyers has been unhappy with his contract for months. At $11 million a year, he's severely underpaid compared to receivers producing at his level. He's reportedly asking for a bump to the $15–18 million range, reasonable considering his consistency and value. But the Raiders' front office isn't budging. They're refusing both to renegotiate and to trade him, leaving Meyers caught in a frustrating limbo. It's the kind of standoff that poisons a locker room. Teammates are asking questions. Morale is dipping. And right before one of the biggest games of the season, this distraction couldn't come at a worse time. The irony is painful. Meyers isn't a diva. He's one of the most respected players in the locker room, a hard worker, a quiet leader, and a role model for younger teammates. To see him treated as expendable sends a terrible message. Players notice. Agents notice. And for a franchise still trying to build a reputation of stability, this kind of drama only deepens the cracks. The Raiders can't afford another public embarrassment, but right now, that's exactly where this is heading. Multiple teams have reportedly reached out to inquire about trading for Myers, but the Raiders have turned every offer down, perhaps waiting for better compensation or simply unwilling to admit they've lost control of the situation. Realistically, they might only get a late-round pick in return, but holding him hostage helps no one. If he's not going to play, they're wasting both a roster spot and an opportunity to move forward. The longer it drags on, the worse it gets, for the team, the coach, and the player. Around the league, whispers of a potential Raiders fire sale are starting to surface. Names like Malcolm Kuntz and Dylan Parham have been floated as trade pieces, hinting at a possible rebuild. Insiders are comparing it to Bill Belichick's 1 year early, not 1 year late philosophy: move assets before they lose value. It's speculation for now, but the fact that these conversations are happening shows how unsettled things are in Las Vegas. Every week feels like a test, not just for the players on the field, but for the direction of the entire organization. The Raiders' matchup with the Chiefs isn't just another divisional game, it's a measuring stick. It's a chance to prove that the adjustments, the culture, and the leadership are strong enough to withstand adversity. But if the Myers saga lingers and the team falters again, the fallout could be massive. Pressure builds fast in the NFL, and right now Las Vegas is standing at a crossroads.